This is To Wit, a podcast for women in tech doing life. I'm Melinda Smith.
I'm Krisit Guzman. Hello, Melinda Smith.
And your brunette self. I know people can't see us, but you have posted a photo and it looks hot.
Yeah, it's fall.
It is.
And I hate maintaining highlights. And I don't have a man to maintain highlights for anymore. So
oh my God, do you shave?
Right on out.
You're like, I'm going to shave my legs. Who cares?
Calm down. I'm single now.
This is true.
I probably shave more now than 100%. I did.
I realized when I said don't answer that, that's exactly where my head went. I was like, well, she's not extra married. She's extra single. There's a difference.
Hey. So the big question I have for you.
Go on.
Does Alicia Keys and Lenny Kravitz make you want to go to Dreamfest?
Yeah, I really, really like Alicia Keys. Like, I've always loved her music. I love her story. I love her background. And AT&T Park is in the freaking Cow Palace. So if I hate it, I'll bounce. I'll just leave.
Yeah, that's true.
Lenny Kravitz, I do like him. And even though I'm not like a huge fan, I know he puts on a good show. So I'm 100% down.
Yeah, I think the location is part of it too. Like,
key.
Part of my challenge... So I didn't see Lenny Kravitz at Trailhead X. I forget. Oh, I had a work dinner to go to the first year he played.
Oh, I was like,
Trailhead X. Sorry.
Hold on.
No. The first year he played at the Warfield. Okay. But I didn't go to Dreamfest at the Cow Palace. And the year before, at the Pier, I got there later because I just wanted to see Foo Fighters. But by the time I got there, it was shut off in the main stage.
Yeah, it was real crazy.
I was in like a side stage, which was nice. Like, it was fine. But then after a while, I was like, I am standing here watching a screen.
That's what I did.
And my feet hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I stood by the free beverage table because, Avi.
Well, even then, you're in line for 15 minutes. Like, I'll buy it. I'd rather pay $5 and have a chair.
Yeah. And that, too, was still kind of hard to get out of if you wanted to leave prior to a bus.
Yes. That was the other thing.
And that was Killers, Foo Fighters, just those two?
No, I want to say Gary Chapman. Somebody, that's wrong, though. That's totally wrong.
So I didn't dislike it, but I did the same thing you did. I stood there and watched the
Killers. I don't remember the Killers.
Yeah, so I'm actually very excited. I mean, it's funny you mentioned that because a previous boss of mine texted me today, and he was like, what do you think of the lineup? And I was like, I think it's great, and AT&T Park is great. Because my first year, was Blondie and Green Day.
Ooh,
and I went, and then it got super rainy. So I left after Blondie and met some friends and went to... can't remember the name of the bar. It just got wet, but I heard that like Green Day did a really great show because they lost like all of the electrical, but they still like put it on amazingly.
Wait, but was that at AT&T Park too, or that was somewhere else?
Oh yeah.
So I'm old school enough that my first Dreamfest was Stevie Wonder with will.i.am coming, and it was in Moscone North.
Nice.
Like, it was inside downstairs.
And what's funny is like will.i.am now is just like a staple. I was like, oh yeah, he comes every year.
Yeah, sure. Well, and it's funny too because part of me feel like Lenny Kravitz is okay, but I also feel like my coworker was joking that it's like a dad band. And that's kind of with Stevie Wonder too. Like, of course I'll go see Stevie Wonder, but like I'm not the target market, like that's more like Gaga, T Swift,
right?
Like just generationally, it's like
totally.
Although the Eagles would be amazing,
no,
but just like random, yeah, sure, Steve Miller Band, let's do that. But I
mean, our last episode, I can sing Little River Band to you if you want. Tony.
We don't even need to go to the concert.
So, dear listeners, dear Ruth, we are trying to come up with, shtick is not the right word, but a different kind of MO for this year, this fiscal To Wit year. So we did mostly
AKA some actual structure, maybe?
I mean, not too much. Don't get crazy. So I thought, and by I mean we were thinking of, do we deconstruct a piece of Salesforce or a few episodes? But what does that look like? What's the use case? So we have decided, and please for God's sake, please tell us what you think after this episode. Just tweet us and tell us if this is like interesting or not, because we have other ideas. So we are thinking, instead of getting to know you, we will do something that we learned in Salesforce: good, bad, indifferent, formula, not formula, just should I like, should I don't like. So that, folks, is where we will begin.
Today on the Two Wit podcast, would you like to kick us off, Melinda?
Let's see here.
With what you've always be learning.
Always B-A-B-L. It's weird. I mean, it's not.
It is how you spell.
I mean, it's not always be closing, ABC,
Good try, though.
Leads are for winners. Closers. Closers. Right? Is it leads are for closers? Anyways. All right. So this week on the Two Wit podcast, what Melinda has learned is that she does not like the classic console. FML, it's terrible. So I am on this huge project, and it's an old school company. I've worked for these companies before. It is what it is. They're old. They're a huge organization. They're somewhat excited about Salesforce. They want Lightning, but they're also Internet Explorer based. They can't just pull the trigger. So Salesforce sold them or showed them in a sales call, like all the cool things that a console can do.
Okay.
And we are working with that, but they are light years right now away from Lightning. Besides their Internet Explorer usage. Side note, if anyone has a way around that I don't know, please contact us. So now we're doing what is trying to be fancy, cool components, highlights panel, overlays, this whole like 360 account view in Classic, and it sucks. So I come out of the project that's been in process for 6 months, and they're like, hey, build this demo. We're going to do this. We need this view and an interaction log. So within 2 weeks, I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's terrible. And an interaction log is the UI. It's terrible. So they want to do this huge highlights panel that's Visual Force. A side left panel that is almost like an activities-based tab, different kind of billing activities, marketing activities. The middle section, which are quick actions, and then they wanted a right panel that is AI, and then an interaction log. Just digest that, my friends. Like that real estate is disgusting.
Okay, but to be fair, do you hate the console, or you hate that you're trying to rebuild a thing that's like a console?
I hate the console in Classic. Console in Lightning is gorgeous. Console in Classic is clunky, and I dislike.
Here's my problem with console and Classic. Here's my problem with console.
Careful how you phrase this.
I don't know about you. Here's my concern that is based in my experience and not properly vetting my user experience, which I will own that. I'm a tab happy person already. Console makes me feel like tab inception.
Yeah, it's true.
Like tabs in my tabs in my tabs. Literally, that's a phrase of English that makes sense in a console. Like, so, but if you're managing a bunch of cases and if you're using omnichannel, and I get it, some people love it. Salesforce people love it.
I like to know that I can open 75 related records and not forget where I am or figure out which tab I need to go back to. It's all related. The thing with this project, here's kind of the laughable thing, and my colleagues know, so it's not like I'm outing myself, is I was brought on to help with vision, an older company that doesn't have vision, and to manage this view. Well, as we have gone through the solutioning, with the exception of like 4 or 5 global actions, or actually there'll probably be quick actions on some custom objects, it's all Visual Force. And they're like, and we've given you 40 hours a week for this. And I was like, for what? To delegate? Like, I need developers for this. I don't write code. So and it's fine. And, and then they put another TA on the project, which is great, technical architect. And he's like, I'm going to mandate all of this and make sure it's delegated properly and the code is written. I said, great, well, I will make sure that I work with the business to make sure that the requirements are correct. And that's fine. But for somebody like me that wants to play, I'm like, I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean, I have good skills as far as talking to, business owners, but I mean, there's a part of me, the imposter syndrome part of me, it was like, they brought this guy on to actually do the work, and then they're going to be like, and you can go. Bye.
There is a part of me that just had an epiphany that I would like to see, like, boss Melinda getting requirements. I feel like sometimes you have, like, a work persona, like although I do cuss at work. Like, I do cuss too much. So some of my podcast persona is just my persona, and that's who I am. But I don't know. Just
it's confusing because on one hand, I've been speaking with my boss and like the work thing, and I do want to do more leading. But there's also that other part of me that's like, but I don't want to stop building and stop learning. I don't want to stop studying for certs. I don't want to stop that part. Speaking of cussing, I went to the client 2 days this week, and one of the youngins is in the Denver office. And I said, I never go in. I always say I'm gonna, but I'm like, am I just gonna sit by a stranger? I said, hey, why don't you just tell me next time there's a Denver thing? And he's like, actually, tomorrow night is a happy hour. And there's a bar here called the Front Porch. And they have a calendar of names. So if your name falls on one of the days, you drink free the whole night. Every Wednesday is flip night. So starting at 7:30, you flip a coin. And either you call it or you don't. And you pay for the drink or you don't. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll go. So I kind of hem-haw. And I showed up like an hour later. And there were some executives in town for some meeting, which I didn't know about. And I'm hanging out with just like all these like 21 to 26-year-olds for a little bit. And then I went and found the executives that are like 45 and 48. And I was like, oh yeah, this is more my pace. But what cracked me up is they were, kind of like the student event I did with Erica. I think we talked about at the University of Colorado. They're just really eager to learn and talk. And I, for some reason, was like sitting outside my body on my shoulder. And I was like, oh my God, Melinda, do you swear every other word? I was like, are you? And then I just couldn't stop myself. And then I thought, well, you can't just stop now. That's like weird. But seriously, I felt like my grandma walked in and was like, Mindy, do you have to swear so much? I'm like, no, I don't.
It's so interesting how, I don't know, to me it just, I don't know if it means something different. Maybe it means everyone perceives me not as professionally. I don't know, but I literally started teaching this class at the Charlotte Housing Authority, teaching adults Salesforce. And within the first half an hour, I just said I'm pretty sure it was shit. And then I was like, well, it was going to happen eventually. And they all laughed, but like, I don't know. On one hand, I also feel like it's more relatable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is who I am, and that's how it is. But and I also place all of my findings in those silly Facebook articles that are like, people that swear more are more intelligent. I was like, that's the one I'm going with. Yep.
Yeah.
That's my mantra.
Wow. 2 whole minutes, I think we kept to our plan, and then we just derailed, and it's wonderful. So, consoles.
This is the plan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
right.
So, consoles and F-bombs. Consoles and F-bombs. I didn't relearn a thing. Well, I mean,
I didn't either.
No.
I'm just
Hey, I'm not judging. Why are you assuming I'm judging you when I'm just prefacing my own story? Don't be so.
Let me tell you what my
fucking
therapist said.
sensitive. Okay. Keep it classy. Okay, so do you ever have this feeling? See, let's preface it that way. Can you identify? So I got a requirement that was not like intermediate hard, not like ridiculous hard, but it took some noodling out, which of course I do in like the shower, like while I'm trying to fall asleep, like, but how would I calculate that, like,
Same.
And so basically we want to capture how long a case has been with R&D or tier quote unquote tier 2, right? But it's not just like it goes to tier 2 and comes back and that's it. So what if it goes back and forth and I need to stamp a number and then pick it back up and start incrementing, lather, rinse, repeat. And so again, thinking about that for like a week, and then, you know, make 5 fields, one of which is a formula, 2 process builders, and it's just like, when I was testing that and it worked, I was like, I am the best ever, you know? And just that, I literally texted like so many people, and I'm like, how do I bottle this feeling that I am a badass for calculating, like, just.
When you get your formula, your validation rule to work first round, you do.
Oh, it took like 7 iterations of the process builder, not even first round, but still, like, so it stamps a date when it starts, and it stamps a date when it ends, and it also captures a prior value when it ends, so that if it starts again because the start date is greater than the end date, then it does the prior value plus today minus the date. And just like, but then I got to work and I was like, but what if the dates are equal? Like, I just kept finding little things, and then I figured that part out, you know? I don't know. It was a great reminder of like, that's awesome. That's hashtag awesome admin right there. Like, I can change page layouts, and I can, you know, update your fucking password, you know, but like, really, that's, and in teaching this class, I'm really like, I seriously got nerdy excited today talking about UI UX and like decision making with building fields and just like page layout design and why lightning is cool and just like all these, you know.
It's awesome.
So
I feel the same way.
Yeah. So that was fun. So there you go. So
are you gonna share your formula?
I was a boss.
Stamp this all.
I can. I should write a blog. You know, I pay it for a domain to write blogs on.
I had one of those moments the other day where I don't remember what show I was watching, and I was like, man, I just really wish that I could just focus on work, because I really love what I do now. And I'm like, you know, it would be nice if I could just step out of myself for a minute and have no obligations and do nothing but work. And then, I don't know, like a half an hour later, I thought, what is wrong with you? You did that. Like, I worked for Maui Wowie Hawaiian Coffees and Smoothies, and I was a corporate trainer, and they sent me all over the country and sent me to Turkey and a Hawaiian cruise. I eat, slept, and bled that job. I traveled 3 weeks out of the month. It was my everything, and I loved it. So I was just, for a second, was like, you be grateful. Like, I got to do that. But when clearly you love your dog. I love my kid. I love my family. I love my obligations. But every once in a while, I'm like, man, if I could just work, I just want to work. I want to get up and be on my computer and work until my eyeballs fall out, doing actual work stuff and witness success and pep up tech and, you know, any of the other things that you have obligations to that you want to do. And I'm like, I act like I never got to do that. I act like I've had obligations since I was 12. And I haven't.
Don't 100% identify with that. No, I do love talking about Salesforce, and I like the people, and I like my job, but I also like naps and like being with people, friends and people. I think that's a lot of why I like the community stuff. Like, we've talked about, you know, that these are humans I would hang out with in general that happen to be connected through Salesforce, and, you know, that I can network with, and that, you know, but yeah, I don't know, work doesn't drive me in that same way. Although apparently it does when I figure out the formula, you know, but
you're like, how do I bottle this feeling?
That's true.
When you're in the zone, like, don't get me wrong. It's not like I woke up tomorrow and was like, if I could do the classic console all day. No. But when you are just in it and loving it, you have to like stop because you have to do something that is not necessarily what you want to do. It's like, that sucks. But I guess I had to check myself because I was having that mamby-pamby martyr moment where I was like, oh, I never had that. No, I had that a lot. I loved that job, and I got to do whatever I wanted at any moment. I didn't even have a goldfish, for God's sake. Like, nobody needed me for nothing.
That sounds
like,
wowie.
I did exactly what I wanted to. Maui wowie.
So
It was awesome. I had a great time.
No, I was gonna say you have a topic.
Go on.
What was your impetus?
Well, and I mentioned it before, like self-care. I was just talking about, you and I have talked about therapy and all that. And I guess just one of my silly little PSAs to our friends is, don't forget in the midst of doing all the things you need to do and all the obligations and the people that you have committed to is like the self-care and it's self-mental care and going to therapy and talking to your friends. If your therapy is once a week, it matters and it helps. And when you think that, oh, no, I'm good, like you can still be in a good mood and still need to get a massage or still need to speak to a therapist every other week or like whatever. Like it's super, super important, I feel.
Yeah.
So that's my little PSA.
It's interesting because I realized in going back to see a psychiatrist to try and find the right ADD medicine, in talking to her, she kind of mentioned that it sounds more like unmanaged ADD than depression, which was really interesting. Like, what if not getting things done makes me depressed, as opposed to being depressed and not getting things done.
Anxiety
but it's, a little chicken or the egg theory, but it's also interesting just to, on one hand, it's frustrating that it feels like it's taken a long time to find the right therapist and figure things out. But on the other hand, like I'm in a better place of acknowledging to myself that it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, so, and it's just taken me a long time to get there and to have to like keep fighting for myself consistently as opposed to, other people's expectations,
like whatever,
or getting shit on, or just I had the first time I tried to get evaluated for ADD, they told me like, oh, maybe not, you can try meds if you want to, and so finally finding the right person who was like, oh yeah, check 100%, and to have that reaffirmed now. So it's just it's just because it's not as black and white as like other medical symptoms, although sometimes medical symptoms aren't even that black and white either.
No, I can tell you that. Yeah, no.
So, yeah.
When things that you read every day. I just read an article today or yesterday in the like ulcerative colitis group I'm in Facebook that was like, hey, and I don't even know her credentials. Maybe she doesn't know anything, but it was like, I keep seeing posts out here about people that are going med free and managing through diet. And let me tell you how this is bad. And it was long. And I'm like, fuck. Like I'm still going to go. Like I have a GI doctor appointment. And if I need to concede to meds, that's fine. But, she had a lot of really great points about you still may have X, Y, and Z symptoms and you're not recognizing it and you're damaging your body. But like it's such a toss-up because like with your situation, I really like there have been many times throughout my life that I have seen therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists that I just want to go in and I want you to tell me, oh, you know what? You have this and this pill will make it all better. And you're like, yay, amazing. Unfortunately, with mental health, that's not always how it is. But with this situation where they're like, oh, you have an autoimmune, take this. I'm all, I don't know if I want to. Like, why can I not feel the same about a physical medication as I would about a mental medication? I don't even know.
I think it also goes into just sometimes then it feels like you could be taking a whole lot of medicines for a whole lot of different things. And then I don't know,
on the side effects,
right?
Blah, blah, blah.
Which
I know.
I still find it just hilarious to listen to some of these medicine commercials, right? Like, yes, you can solve this problem.
Take this for depression. Might cause depression. What?
Or like,
wait, what?
might cause constantly running bowels. Leaky anything. Like literally anything after leak. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird slippery slope and everyone's got different opinions, which is okay. Like I know a lot of people
And
who are
everybody's
using
body is
essential
different.
oils and are loving it and are getting it. And I have tried a few and just like, I want that to work. I would love to, I don't know, but
Smell the lavender and feel
I just
amazing.
I like the smells, but because they smell nice, not because like I feel like it's changing my psyche or my health.
Yeah, no.
But if it is for you, like if you can replace your whole drug cabinet with essential oils, giddy up. But different strokes, different folks.
Different folks. But that's the other thing too, is that there is not a blanket for any of this. So like everyone needs to do what they think is best for them. And every time I read an article that I feel like challenges what I want to do,
Cussing is bad for you.
like, oh, I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, right. But the other article is cussing means you're smart. And I was like, I like that one. That's the one I'm hanging my hat
apparently
on.
because my second toe is longer than my big toe, that means I'm very smart. I'm sure that was written by people who have long second toes. But
I wrote that.
I'll take that. It's a sign of intelligence.
I'm going to take a super jacked up segue because fuck it. Fall. Hey, sweaty balls. Let's talk about fall.
Oh, that was amazing. So, segue. Sweaty balls. Hopefully people have actually seen that sketch. If not, stop. YouTube Alec Baldwin sweaty balls. And then come back.
Yeah, SNL. Pronto. Let me tell you all of the things I love about fall. The leaves, the beer, the snuggling up on the couch. So this is the first like real fall I've had in 3 years. So I'm very excited about it. The Great American Beer Festival is going on this weekend. There's a bunch of ancillary events I don't know if I'm going to make it to. But the other thing I tweeted about the other day that is super weird about fall, at least here, is that I can be cold and sweating at the same time because like the sun is out and it's warm, but the wind will be biting. So I'm like, I've got my coat on, but underneath I'm also sweating. It's very confusing. Very confusing, but I love fall. I want to make everything in the crock pot. I don't even care what it is. I want to make your salad in the goddamn crock pot. Like that's what we're doing. Everything is crock pot. Oh, I love it. I do love it. Boots, scarves, but I can still rock just a hoodie without dying outside. Because then come January, it's so cold here. I'm going to be okay.
Wait, is this your first winter?
Okay.
Back?
In 3 years, yeah.
Southern California comes to Denver.
Yeah, remember, I went in like snowshoe and love winter. Everyone remember I said that on October 7th. Wait, 5th or 5th, whatever. It's October early.
Yeah, I was just actually thinking when I saw you wanted to talk about fall, I do feel like it is such an interesting, I feel like of all the seasons, it's the most basic bitch season. Like pumpkin spice lattes and scarves and boots.
Josh calls it Han Solo season because all the girls are wearing like
the tall boots,
puffy
and a puffy
vests,
vest. Yeah.
and like yep,
I got
boots
you.
over there.
And
I'm dying right now.
That's amazing. Now they do make wide calf boots, so I could maybe get some. But then I also am not good, in case anyone's curious, not a very girly girl. But then you have to have like the jegging, like the tight pants, to wear inside the boots. Enough to
go over, or is tight enough to go in. Booties are the way to go.
Ugh. Just buying something called booties just makes me just not want to do that. Literally, I was visiting my nephew cat. I'm his aunt, basically. My friend's cat. When I live with my friend, she calls me his aunt now, so I call him my nephew cat. I was visiting my nephew cat, and I'm like, where's his string that he likes to play with? And she's like, I don't know. Use a shoelace. And I was like, bitch, have you met me? I'm wearing flip-flops today. I have no... It's like nephew, but nephew cat. Come on. So, yeah, so...
This is the moment when I just named this episode because the Nev Cat is amazing.
I don't have nieces and nephews of humans. So I have to adopt people's animals. His name is Mike.
Neff Mike.
Mike. Anyway. So no, I was like, she's like, oh, you don't need to find that string. He'll play with any string. I was like, oh, okay, I'll use a string from my pocket. Like,
I carry string. Always in my pocket.
I mean, worst case, maybe I had a hair rubber band I could have shot around.
Oh my God, Neff.
But he's been alone for a few days, so it's like any port in a storm. He doesn't actually like me that much, but because he's a cat, so he's a dick.
He hates everybody.
But, you know.
I mean, to a degree.
Or pretends like he does. But anyway, so that's the story. Oh, so fall, yeah. So I don't know that fall's my favorite season. I do like scarves.
Oh, it's not my favorite, but I do like it.
Oh, them's fighting words.
I mean, summer's my favorite. I mean,
just because the snow is over and you can just frolic with joy.
I want to be warm. I want to never have a coat. I want to hardly wear shoes. I'm a lizard.
Is that not summer?
Summer. That's what I'm saying, though. Summer's my
favorite.
I'm
sorry. I heard spring in my mind because I wanted to say spring, and so I was not being a good listener. I was projecting what I wanted to say onto you.
Sure.
Spring is
Tell
good.
me why spring's yours.
Well, I just feel like, you know, the first year that I lived in Boston and spring happened, and I finally understood, like, why spring is exciting. Because in Southern California, where I grew up, it's the plants don't die, right? Like, it's spring always, unless the Santa Ana winds are coming, and therefore it's winter. Like, so the first year that it snowed, and then, like, I was like, guys, the flowers are blooming. There's flowers. It's springtime. Like, I was so excited and done with snow. So, yeah. So that was super fun. But I just feel like it's also just, like, everyone gets back out to be social.
Yeah, no, that's true. People, like, coming out of the woodwork, like, oh, is it safe to come out now?
And everyone's white like me instead of being tan in the summertime, because that doesn't happen.
I don't know I'm very tan in the summertime anymore. I'm like, I need the skin. So I have to dye in this skin. It has to stay taut.
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
Yes, I know your skin regenerates. Well, it is almost Halloween. Side note, did you plan your outfit? We already talked about mine. Anyone's willing to steal it? Okay. Picture this, people. Cut out like almost like a mat for a frame, but big, like TV size. And then look super crazy messed up and hold the little frame over your face and look surprised, and be surprise webcam on a conference call.
I like it.
What? And then Chrissy was like, or be coiffed waist up, party on the bottom, and be work from home conference call. Yeah, super funny. I don't know where I would wear it to. I have one Halloween party that involves my child, so I'll probably do whatever she wants. So I'll probably be a brony or something.
I was going to say, I feel like you're missing one of the characteristics of a brony.
I mean, who knows? But that is a fun costume, right?
Yes. Yes, it's very, like, people who are going to get it are going to get it. People who've watched the conference call video where it's, like, every problem on a conference call with, like, dogs barking and, like, the person, like, fading in and out of the room, and the person who's, like, who just joined? And the person who's like, can you record this call?
Here,
that's a good one, too. But, like, so
who just
clearly
joined?
We get this, right? So then...
I want you to just be who just joined.
Well, sometimes people's don't connect via voice and they're not there yet. It says they're there, but they're not dialed in. And then sometimes it doesn't make the dinging sound. It's like the struggle is real. But again, I have a friend
who just joined.
I have a friend who has literally never been on a conference call in her life.
Wait, what?
An adult friend my age.
Is she a Sarah?
No, she works for an interior designer as like the office manager, and she just doesn't take call. What are you gonna? I mean, like, she takes work calls, but it's 1-to-1. It's not. Sure. So like we were literally talking about this, and and of course then I'm like, say what? Like how? What? So yeah, like so she wouldn't find it funny.
who just joined.
Right? It's hilarious. And it's funny because now at our company, there's like two people that are the people who are like, could you record this call, please? Or like, wait, are you showing anything on your screen? Are you showing something on your screen? Because I'm not seeing it.
Nobody listens to these calls. Ever. Ever.
The record... Here's the best intentions, Christy. You get the webinar email. Oh, sign up for this awesome webinar. Yeah, I want to listen to that.
Done.
Even if you can't make it, sign up so you get a copy of the recording. That's so convenient, thank you. Miss it because life happens. Recording comes.
Well, yeah.
I have created a tag in Gmail to tag all these webinars. And then I archive that. And then I'm going to, when I'm bored, get around to it.
Then it's outdated.
It's in the black hole of webinars.
I want you to know that right now, I give you full permission to not record and not.
But see, here's the problem. Because
there's no problem.
This directly contradicts one of my super faves.
I mean, that was a long time ago. No one's going to hold you to this
What do you mean? No, like for today.
Currently. Oh. I thought you meant in the past where you're like...
I probably did say, if I listen back to what I said over the past fiscal year, we probably have set a goal of listening to the webinars we said we're going to listen to.
I tried to make one of my super faves something, and then it was like, wait. And then went back and looked at last week's or last 2 weeks. And I'm like, no, that was last week's. Okay, well, if nothing, I am consistent.
I really, really like it.
I really love Brene Brown. I don't think anyone has any question about how much I love her. Reached out to her to speak at Witness Success, and no go. Yeah, they didn't say why. They just, she needs to manage her calendar, and I don't know. Either way,
Good try.
I was like, oh,
can't hurt. All right, so since we're already there, super fave, what do you got?
Super faves. As you know, I like to just throw things away, like minimalist. So it's fall, and I'm trying to like do fall cleaning, but we're moving in a handful of weeks since we're closing on our house, which is a go. Very excited about it. Close on the 17th. Having a little tete-a-tete with the rental company because they want 3 months rent to break the lease and this month's rent. And I know what I signed to, but I really don't want to. So I'm just not. Yeah, I gave them 3 months rent. They're like, oh, well, you're still in there. And I said, so you want 4 months rent to leave in 3 weeks. Evict me. Anyways, that's where I'm at right now about that. It just pisses me off. But I love the fact that we're going to clear out things. And I get to clear out Olive's closet. And I get to get rid of the tchotchke toys that I don't like, just junk. And we just get to purge again. But this is going to be our longtime home. So I'm going to have to put this on like my calendar in a couple years because we've gotten to move. I've moved every year, 3 years or so in the last 8 since hooking up with Josh.
But to be fair, like,
yeah, that's how I'm putting it.
Do you really need an excuse to, given the level of throwing the shit away that you talk about, I feel like anything that's not nailed down is fair game. And I don't think that's limited to just moving time.
No, it's not. But the great thing about that is mostly the kid. Because then I can feign ignorance. So I am going to have to get into a phase with her, like a plan where like this is what we're going through. Because I don't ever just go into her room and throw things out. Not in a sweeping declaration. Sometimes I pick things up off the floor and they don't make it into the toy bin.
LIFO versus FIFO, have to learn economics.
But this is true. So overall, I'm very excited about the new home. It took me a while to be excited because there was just a lot of logistics to buying it, but it's good to go. Yeah, and it was, what? Oh, first bid. Oh my God, okay. So it's our longtime home. I don't say forever home, but it's like our longtime home, and it's so great. Side note though, I am fully aware that Josh has every right to decorating and things that go in our home. Mm-hmm. But when he's like, I like this or don't like this, I feel
like you take it personally.
Looking at him with like fire eyes, and I'm just like, you get no say.
Well, to be fair, are the things that he's saying like that he wants a booby poster or something? Like, is it something totally dumb and manly?
No, they're 100% on board. He's like, well, maybe we, we don't get rid of this and we put this here. And I'm just like, you with the thoughts and opinions. Enough already.
Aren't you supposed to be flying somewhere?
Because like my vanity, I put on my makeup at a vanity since I put on makeup. And I was like, gosh, I'm not sure if this is going to fit. He's like, let's get rid of it. And I was like, whoa, calm down. And he's like, well, I mean, we can get a new one. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. Or like, he's like, maybe we don't get rid of the shed right away. And, we focus on getting blinds. And I was like, I hate the shed. And he was like, yeah, but it holds stuff. And I was like, And I told my mom, I'm like, I need to stop being such a bitch. He has every right to have like an opinion about the home. Like, this is his home too.
When blinds are a legit thing to want. Yeah.
He's like, maybe this should go here, not here. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Gorg, you're not allowed to be.
Well, in a direct antithesis to your minimalism, today was my first experience with same day fucking shipping for free. Like, I don't know if I've just...
Like, you got it?
Yeah,
today?
I legit ordered 2 sets of headphones today, not the ones I'm wearing, because I need to charge them because they're Bluetooth. But I ordered a pair for home and a pair for work, and when I'm going to check out in my 2-day Amazon Prime brain, like that's already 2 days, same day shipping, for free. They were at my house before 9 p.m.
How? But who? Like, did a fairy
Magic
bring
Amazon
them?
Ninjas
Like unicorn?
brought me 2 different brands of headphones. Even like not. I don't even know. I just can't even. The logistics alone, like I just can't.
Like, I've seen the lockers before.
Yeah.
Like
but even so, but
like, come to this Amazon locker. And I was like, nah,
but the lockers is like the delivery mechanism. But you still have to get the shit to the locker. Like, and of the bazillion things on Amazon that I ordered too, that are apparently available near enough to me that they got them. Like, what?
Yeah, that's bananas.
And I'm like,
it's amazing.
Like, how do we not put Amazon on like rebuilding Puerto Rico? Like, give them a day. I don't know.
They're like, we already got this, but we could just throw paper towels at them and they'll be fine. It's amazing.
I don't know. Anyway, so that I'm sure it's been around. I know it's a thing, and some places they're delivering wine, like whatever. But this was my first like not expecting to need it today, but I just need to spend money. Yay! I need a thing, and then it was like, wait, what? And it came today.
Yes, and the wine was not even on Prime, FYI. Wine.
Well, and it's not in my city.
FYI.
All right. Speaking of wine delivery.
Wow,
see, now you better be nice to him.
Hey, folks, just had a beer delivered by my husband. And shut the door as I was talking shit.
So
that's funny.
I don't know if you want to finish with your thing, so you want me to go again. Nope.
No, I've got nothing. You finish. I mean, I have a next one, but you go.
I was just
going
to say, I feel like my webinar was after our last episode, right? It was just last week.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
100%.
I feel Salesforce famous. But, like,
you are.
There's just something about the fact that I did this presentation at Midwest Dreamin'. Mike and Jillian and Rebecca from the awesome admin magical evangelist team were there, and they were like, we want you to do this in the month of lightning. And I am a procrastinator on my slides, and I was like, they're gonna hate me. And over 3,000 people signed up to get the recording, and
whoa, seriously,
1,025 people tuned in to it.
What?
To talk about lightning page layouts.
Look at my PIC.
Right?
I'm so proud
but
of
it was
you.
just so, it was great.
Yeah, seriously.
It was really good. And it's a really interesting reminder, and we were kind of talking about this on the MVP Slack channel. Like, in talking about some stuff at Dreamforce, it's a good reminder that there are a lot of people at a beginner level, which is not bad, but sometimes it's easy.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's easy to forget that not everyone has been doing this for 10 years, right? And like, that you and I are talking about things in a different way, you know? And so sometimes it's easy to get caught up in that and then be like, oh, wait, like, no, not everyone knows that, you know? So
no, not everyone knows Lightning. Not everyone knows freaking page layouts, for goodness sake.
So it was just really interesting.
That's so cool.
It was really fun. So thank you too.
When I was at that happy hour, one of the girls was talking about putting together a conga button, which I've done recently. And she was just so jacked about it. And I was like, holy crap. I thought I was behind the curve. Like, I was working with my conga rep to do this, like, all-in-one button, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, of course, everyone knows this but me. And she was experiencing that. And I was like, whoa, you're right. Like, what?
Yeah, new stuff. That's why we have a segment. Always be learning. Or teaching. Or both.
ABL.
Or both.
Or T. Or B.
ABTB. Always be teaching, bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not going to be an acronym. All right. Another note for our listeners. Correction from our last episode. We are not going to be doing the lacrosse ball rollout class. Super excited about it. Shout out to Missy Longshore and Map Anything. They were going to be sponsors, but I it's my fault for getting started a little late. So again, shout out to Jillian as well. She brought in the whole HQ team to try and help me find a spot or to be a sponsor for a RinCon spot. But it didn't work out and we could have taken it to a park, but my concern is the weather and being able to hear me. And then now that my company is sponsoring my trip, I've got a boot camp about 3 hours on Sunday. So we're not doing it. Maybe we'll do it next year. Now that I actually have a plan, it'll be easier to kind of make it happen next year. So I apologize. But side note, if you happen to have a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, I and Christy can teach you a great way to roll out your feet and your back and your arms just so you can release those muscles. It's going to be a really long week on your feet. So that's my little PSA. But aside from
Bring
that,
your own
my
balls.
other super
That's
faves.
basically what you just said. Okay. Too long, didn't read. BYO balls. Okay, go ahead.
Dreamforce planning in general. I'm just really excited about it. I love to go to the Starlight Room to dance. I posted that. One of the colleagues I met, he said something about, working out every day. And I was like, oh my God, me too. I'm going to go to ritual yoga. He's like, nah, yoga's not my bag. I like to spin. I was like, me too. So yes, once again, I am going to prepare and plan to go to Soul Cycle Tuesday morning. I will prepay. Now, are we going to take the over-under?
Wait, you're going with a coworker? Is he going to guilt trip you into it? Are you staying at the same hotel?
I hope so.
Oh,
no.
So it's not like he can knock on your door?
So. He's he's a high up at Blue Wolf, so he's probably staying somewhere nice. I'm staying at what was left, for fuck's sake. I mean,
I'm being so bougie because I'm
staying
staying at the JW, which any other time in life would be wonderful, except it's a little bit farther than I was last year, so I'm just being bougie about it. Oh, yeah? Well, I guess it's not. It's like a block. Get over yourself. And there'll be such a nice bus app to tell me that a new bus is coming.
Oh gosh, I hope I know what that company is.
Dude, did you see the thing about the indoor map? I'm excited about that. Not even just because it's us, but
wait. Indoor map?
Yes, I don't know. So imagine, I need to go to the Map Anything booth to register to win a free truck. Sure I do. In the events app, you will be able to say, take me to booth 1602, and it will tell you how to get there in the Dreamforce. You don't have to look in a book.
Okay. Can I look for the Map Anything booth, or do I have to know the number?
I'm pretty sure you can. It's got search capability that you could look for a vendor.
Yes. This is me clapping.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to.
Well, no, for sure. Yeah, so I don't think it's 100%. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, personally, but I was talking to the person who designed it, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's amazing. Right? Just to
that sounds awesome.
Because you've totally been oh yeah, I'd love to stop by your booth, right? And then you wander around like a lost child.
Oh my God, you walk in and you're like, no. Yeah. It's so much.
Yeah, and then the big signs with the numbers.
You don't know your direction.
No. So there you go. So there'll be
There's like 75 Aptus people that are like, come talk to me. And you're like, I got to go. I have to leave.
Green shirt. Can't do it. Not now.
Side note, super love Aptus. That was not a bag. Shout out to Eric.
Hey, Eric is my favorite today. We have a nonprofit that is rolling out Lightning. And so I hooked them up with some of the swag under my desk. And it's almost enough that they could give something to everybody. So I reached out in the user group leader community. I was like, hey, anyone else have swag they've hoarded that we could share with this nonprofit so they can get people excited about Lightning?
No, we all do.
And Eric was like, yup. And Chris Whitehead in Atlanta was like, yup. So, yeah, so I think they're going to send it down, over, up, around to share. So
nice.
Swagaholics
like my sticker binder
unite. Yes. For Lightning.
Are you gonna get a sticker binder?
I did see your sticker binder. That's very legit of you. I'm surprised I don't have a sticker binder, considering I usually do buy things to do things, but then don't do them. So really, I could buy one, but then I'm not going to actually put stickers in it and organize them. Kind of like the 2 sets of Dreamforce Jamberries that I have that aren't on my nails. What if I make cloud pants? How do I acquire cloud pants? If anyone can help me.
Speaking of pants, did you notice in the MVP quip they asked
it's for the party. Did they ask your shoe size and your pant size or something?
And they are like, oh, shirt size. I'm like, okay. And there was like pant size and shoe size, and I squealed like a child. And Josh was like, what is happening? And I was like, they asked my pant size and my shoe size.
And whole outfit. Or they're just throwing us off. It'll be really interesting.
And we've had that. I'm so excited. Cloud pants.
That'd be amazing. That's like, we've talked about this. That's like all I'm missing. And I mean, aside from like undergarments, which I don't need, but like, that's all I could, hats, glasses, flip-flops, shoes, pants. Nope. Socks.
We really need to vet out if we're going to do something besides stickers for us.
Since we're not handing out balls anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Did we cover your second
the webinar?
Super
fan. Yeah, I bowled over you and I did it back to back. Whew. I'm really happy you already forgot about it though. I really appreciate that.
What's more fun is, do you remember in Alice in Wonderland when they were playing lacrosse with the flamingos and the little groundhogs where they hug each other and roll together? That's what I just pictured. Is that you and I rolled over each other. We became little hedgehogs and we rolled together.
That's where we're at, guys. You know what? You're the best.
Mm-hmm. You're the best. I was really excited about it.
You know what? I can't even.
Oh my God, please wrap this up. Nobody wants
How many times can I say you know what, though?
You know what's interesting?
Stay witty.
No.